What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. So in this video, I just want to discuss for a brief moment something that DJ Envy said on The Breakfast Club. And he said about 5 years ago or so, he pitched a show, or he had like a reality show that he was pitching. He was going to different networks, and one of the networks he went to was BET. And he said when he pitched the show about his family to BT, he was told that he wasn't quote unquote black enough. And I found that to be interesting. On one hand, I can see the thing is with DJ Envy as well as his family, like his wife is like light skinned, probably multiracial, biracial, whatever. DJ Envy, light skinned. I would say when I first saw The Breakfast Club and saw DJ Envy, I did think that he was like, part of the Latino, that New York Latino community. Like maybe, Dominican or Puerto Rican, something like that. But come to find out, I think he's part African American, I guess part ADOS and part non-ADOS. From one of his parents comes from the island Dominica. Um, so yeah, so I think when it comes to this TV show that he was pitching to the wonderful network BET, which I don't even think is black owned. It's not. It's owned by Viacom, so no, it's not black owned. Um, the thing is, I think that the show itself, because I think none of the people were visibly black, I think that may have played a part in it. I think if DJ Envy perhaps had a wife who was quote unquote visibly black, black from a distance, I think the show probably could have fared a bit better, or got picked up by BET perhaps. Um, also, it does go to show that when it comes to blackness and you look in a certain way, like if you are lighter skinned, your adjacency to darker skinned black people can play a part in how you are perceived. I think that has played out like in on the national stage with say Barack Obama, right? And it's also playing out with Kamala Harris as well, right? Notice, folks, how they kind of came with or treated Barack Obama, right? Because he had Michelle Obama by his side, right? A visibly black woman, right? But, you know, Kamala Harris, claiming black and, blackity black, and I was in the black sorority and I put hot sauce on my chicken wings. You know, she being with a white man as her husband, it was, it decreased her blackness, I guess, it made her seem like less black. And it seems to show that, your adjacency to the people, to being a light-skinned person and having adjacency to people can sort of change or play a factor in how people perceive you in terms of race, and there were some people coming through in the comments section saying like, oh, if DJ Envy was a woman, the show would have been picked up, and perhaps, but I think with that it would be, yeah, they would be wanting to see the light skinned exotical black woman or whatever, biracial, what have you. Yes, they would. And, of course, we know that when it comes to biracial or lighter skin, I'll just say lighter skin, black men and lighter skin black women, very much the black men, it seems to be, okay, you have to meet a certain criteria to be considered black man. But when black is a black woman, it's like, well, so many different shades and variations. Black women come in so many different varieties and textures and colors. Oh my, right? We know that. We already know that. You know, we don't want to hurt the biracial girl feeling and make her feel like she ain't black enough. No, we can't do that. No. But when it comes to this situation, I feel like if it was the biracial, light-skinned, exotical woman, whatever, I feel like she would have to be with a dude that would be considered black, right? She couldn't be with her equivalent because I feel like they would still be like, oh, it's not black enough. You may be black enough for us because, we just love exoticals and exoticals can be black women. But your family ain't, right? So you have to be with a identifiably black man, right? So I think that may be kind of like the situation there, right? It's just that like DJ Envy nor his spouse were, you know, identifiably black, are black enough, you know. And he said that the people who told him that are no longer at the BET network. And as well, perhaps maybe they seen the pilot or the show or whatever and felt like it just didn't resonate with black people, which could be true. And perhaps it could be them just stereotyping black people as being like only receptive to a certain image of blackness, and it has to be within a certain box, for a lack of a better word. Perhaps, maybe, could be, you know. But yeah, just a little information about it, a little bit more information about it. Quote unquote, a couple of years ago, this is DJ Envy. Quote unquote, a couple of years ago, when my family was doing a show, what I tried to do is uplift my people first. I went to BET and Revolt first because that's black owned, a black channel. I don't think BET is black owned. It's not. It's owned by Viacom. BET responded, this was 5 years ago, that I wasn't black enough. And, what is blackness? What is black? Who's black, right? So, for DJ MB, he just needed to darken up his skin a little bit, or either be with a woman who has dark skin. But none of that happened, so he didn't get his time slot on BET. But you probably ain't missed nothing. But I haven't watched BET or even really television in years, really. So I don't know. Maybe BET has come up, and maybe they do show like great quality programming that's good for the community and the culture and all that stuff. But yeah, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Because I do feel like if DJ Envy was if DJ Envy was darker and identifiably black, but still had the exotical wife and perhaps even exotical kids, it would be all cool and all good in the hood. They'll just show that show on BET. I really think so. If it was a black woman who was identifiably black shopping the show and she had a biracial exotical husband or whatever you want to call it, and exotical kids or whatever, I think they might give her a bit of flack for that. They may or may not give her the show, Yeah. And when it comes to the exotical dudes and women and whatnot, they would have to be with identifiably black spouses, mates, what have you. They would have to be identifiably black. Just what I personally think, right? And, when it comes to the black community, definitely the black community is color struck. Y'all know that the black community has colorism issues. We all know that, even if we want to admit it or not, there are definitely colorism issues in the black community that need to be addressed. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like folks want to address it and just want to sidestep it and sweep it under the rug and all that good stuff. Yes, we know that, colorism 101, right? You know, but I say that to say, DJ Envy, his show and him could arguably be, like, oh, it's not black enough. That's an argument, I guess. And I know that's an argument that could happen to, fully black people. That happens too, where it's like, oh, this isn't what, black people do. This isn't what black people say and how black people act. It could happen. This could happen to, you know, fully black people too, to be fair. I think, of course, skin color played a role in it because, again, it's the black community, and the black community is definitely obsessed with skin tone and all that stuff. We know that. But as well, I think there were probably other factors that played a part in it as well, besides just DJ Envy himself. It could have been the content of the show. It could have been his family not being or looking identifiably black. And I know some people may get upset with that, because it's like, well, his family is considered, I guess, a light-skinned family, and it's like, oh, well, why not this is being considered black? It may be a bit difficult to market, perhaps. Perhaps, I don't know. Yeah, it's been a bit of a rant, but I just wanted to throw that out there to you right quick and see what you guys think about that. Um, do you think that BET was wrong to deny DJ Envy a time slot on their network and to say that, he wasn't quote unquote black enough for BET? Or do you think that, perhaps they have a point? You know, But then again, they do have Gary Owens. I guess he has a show on BT, from what I've heard. Again, that's hearsay, so I'm not sure. But from what I've heard, he has a show on BT, and he's white, and but he has a black wife, so maybe that was it. If he had if he was white, a white wife and a white family, I'm not sure if that would really go on BT. You know, but yeah. So I'll bring this video to a close. This has been a rant, but thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.